Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the SFC interviews. Here with Sam Sodjie today, one of the Sodjie trio that play for the club. So, how are you, Sam? You all right, mate?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Not a problem. It's always good to catch up with some of the old players and the old guys that are involved. And of course, with yourself, you came through the FCO scheme as well, the youth scheme there. So, that was you started off at the club, wasn't it? That was when you started out.
Yeah, that was my first club. I came. I think that was my first proper club that I played for when I came to the country, and I've got good memories with Stevenage, and my brother played there, and to my family it was the family club to us. So I always have that in mind about Stevenage.
And what was it like to play under Paul Fairclough as well? Because he's the manager that gave you the chance, wasn't it?
He did. I was delighted because I just came back from Africa, and he got me the chance to play in that level, and it made me believe that I could play. And he's a good man, very good man. He helped me out. He got me into the system, and the rest was history.
And so, how big a challenge was it for you coming through that youth system as well? Take with what Effie did for an example there, because obviously he was very successful when was part of that side that won the league and weren't able to get promoted because of the ground at the time.
Yeah. So it helped me out because they knew FA, so it was easy for them to accept me as well. FA did really well for them, and I think FA just phoned Perfect Club. I was in a club in Sheffield. It was called Sheffield FC, just a local club, and I think Stevenage gave them some balls and beeps to get me back to Stevenage. So it was a funny story. Yeah. So it was, but yeah, to just get the chance. And I think what I went on to achieve in football started from Stevenage because that was the first time I tested the proper English football and what it was like to play in England.
So how much do you think you owe to Stevenage there as well? How much would you say to you owe to Paul Fairclough and to the guys at Stevenage for getting you through the youth system and up into playing men's football?
Yeah, because I was just playing. I just enjoyed playing. I think Stevenage, played a big part in my, in me getting to football because I held them a lot. I didn't like the way it turned out to be afterward because I didn't think when the new manager came, I can't remember his name now, Turner, something like that.
And Wayne Turner.
Yeah, I think he came in and he didn't even know me, and I had a great season before, and he just didn't like me. He just said he didn't want me to play, and I was surprised because I was playing really well, going to the team, first team as well, playing really well. I had clubs looking for me as well. So when he came in and said I wasn't even good enough, I was really shocked. So I left Stevenage with a bitter taste. I wasn't happy at all that it happened like that. So I had to go back to Margate. Like I dropped a step back to Margate. So maybe the reason I've not really talked about Stevenage that much was because the way I left. I didn't really think it was fair. Just to come, he didn't see me play. He just didn't like me. Yeah, he didn't like me, and I was surprised. I was really surprised. And that's what pushed me. Apart from giving me the chance to play at Stevenage, what really pushed me to play well and achieve what I did was because what happened in Stevenage where I left. I didn't like it.
Okay, fair enough. So you made your debut in the fixture at Liaramai as well, which the club won. How was that for you starting out? And that was your first game, wasn't it, as a senior?
Yeah, as a senior player, and just the English football. I was just excited, and I think my game suited. The non-league, the tackling, the running, how tough it was. So just playing that game and we won as well was a great feeling and made me feel that I could do this. So it was really good for me.
And it was quite a convincing win as well. It was 4-1 if I remember rightly.
Exactly. Yeah, it was 4-1. Yeah, a long time ago, man.
That's right. And in that lineup as well, you were partnering Leon Court. So do you remember much about that partnership with you and Leon?
Me and Leon, yeah, it was really good, really good. I played it back and I can't remember who I paired with. I can't remember, but it was good. It was really a good game for me.
And there was quite a few others in there as well. John Dreyer was a part of that, and Jason Goodliff and Robin Trott as well. You had some good centre back partners in there.
Yeah. I think I played right back. Can't remember. I think I played right back in that game, and I was the young guy that came in. Rob Trott was a good friend as well. They really helped me out. I won't lie to you. Stevenage was a very good club to me, with the players, with the fans. I personally think the fans really loved me because they know FA, so they bought into me very early. And it was a really good feeling for me to play for Stevenage. And the first game was a dream come true, just to play a first team football.
And of course, you were the middle one at the time as well, because Effie had played for the club, and then you came in, and Akpo came in as well. So, how much of an impact did you have on getting Akpo to sign for the club?
I won't lie to you. Steven was like a family club. It is a family club to us, Sodjies. We just felt they gave us a chance, and it shows to you how good a club Stevenage is. To go all the way from Stevenage, and I went on to play in the Premier League. You can't really take away from that, because Stevenage was really good to me. I still feel I don't really give them enough credit because of the way it all ended, but I would say Stevenage has been good to me and my family, and it was a good time to be a Stevenage. And I just said to Akpo, if you want to really have good supporters that really love you, it's best to go Stevenage.
Okay, we've got a message here from Jordan. What a legend, Sam Sodjie. Who was your best friend at Stevenage?
It was so funny because I came to Stevenage when I just came back from Nigeria, so it was all new to me. The whole system, because people don't understand. Sometimes you might be a talented player, but if you don't fit into the system or fit into the fans, you might not make it. So I think Stevenage gave me the chance to be able to fit in. Someone that really got me going, helped me out a lot was Rob Trott. And we're still friends now. We're still good friends, and he really helped me out a lot. So Rob Trott was very good to me. So Stevenage was Robbie Trott.
And then of course Jace was there as well. Jace was Jace your captain, if I remember rightly?
He was my captain. Jason. Yeah, Jason was the captain. But I think Sam.
Sam
was first the captain of Jason. Yeah, so but Jason was a good player. Was strong defenders. Yeah, that's a long time. Yeah, I had some good defenders and good players at Stevenage.
We've got a message here as well. Yes, Sodjie or Sodj.
Paul as well. Listen, me and Paul really got along really well. Paul's a top guy. Paul got me into coming training. Not being late. Paul was really good to me. I think we lived in the same local when I was there. Yeah, Paul was top man. Paul was really good to me. Yeah,
he's got on there as well. Great memories together. Remember picking you up a few times for St Albans. Yeah,
that's it. Paul, top man. Paul. Yeah, that was like I said before. Paul was. I didn't know how to get to training. Paul used to come to my house. Then I used to live with FA. He came round. He picked me up the training. Paul was top guy, man. It was.
We've got a message here from Russ as well. You played alongside Richard Naylor at Leeds, because you had a spell at Leeds as well, didn't you? Later on in your career. So what was that like, playing alongside him and part of that Leeds team?
I think when I went to Leeds, they were doing well. They kind of were struggling to cross the line, and I went there. I think I played about probably 15 games, and I played with Neil. Was really good, experienced player. He's been in the game for long, and I came, experienced as well. So I enjoyed it. I think we played the first 6-7 games unbeaten, like clean sheet. So I enjoyed Leeds. This is a big club, and I enjoyed playing with Neil. Yeah, it was very good.
That's quality. And of course, you went on. You mentioned there you were in the Premier League. You got capped by your national side and stuff as well in your country. So it's a great career to have, isn't it?
It was a great career, and I have to, say Stevenage played a big part. To go all the way from when I started playing for Stevenage and go all the way to where I achieved. It's a dream come true. You won't believe that would happen, but yeah, I had the belief from day one that I would do it. I just didn't like the way I left Stevenage, and I wish it happened differently. But I'm still happy the way my career went.
Yeah, definitely. You were at some big clubs in there as well.
Yeah.
So overall at Stevenage, you played 32 games for the club, scoring 2 goals there as well from centre back. So what are your memories of your time at Stevenage as a whole?
to talk about how I went on to different clubs and the way I saw how things were being done. I think Stevenage helped me. It's a good club. I think I learned a lot. Just the system, the culture. That's the main thing. The culture. Like Paul was saying, I was always late because I was so laid back. I was so laid back. So Paul always makes sure I go into the training ground early. So I learned a lot from Stevenage, and he pushed me on to be who I was, the player I became. But yeah, it did play a big part in my career. I just don't talk about them a lot. I really should be talking about them a lot because they play a big part. I just felt the reason I don't talk about them that much was because the way I left. Apart from that, I think Stevenage played a big part in my career.
Fair enough. What are your experiences of the derby games? You know, being involved in those games as well, Kettering, Barnet, Woking, games like that.
Yeah, listen, like the people that played with me would tell you the way I used to play. I used to give everything. I'll give 120% every time I play. So when it comes to the derby games, every game was derby for me. But when it comes to them catching them teams was special, and I didn't know how big it was because I didn't grow up in the country. It was when it was being talked in the dressing room. I knew this game is different. It's different, but it's typical me. I'll play the same way anyway. So it was special, and I love the Stevenage fans. They're family. They're family to me. They really love me. Off the pitch, on the pitch, it was different class. To be fair,
and you said it there. I'm sure a lot of the players would say that as well about the derby games. Yes, it gets that extra buzz, but at the end of the day, you're just going out there and whatever game it is, you want to win it. So
exactly, yeah.
So in that squad as well, we mentioned Troy, we mentioned Jace, Sam Macram as well, Sam McMahon, Clarkey was in there, Paul as well as we mentioned, DJ Campbell as well, Darren Hay, who I've spoken to, and Neil Willman that I spoke to as well. So there was quite a good squad there. Who were the ones that kind of helped you when you were, up and coming into the senior squad? Who was your kind of the kind of guys that
I was a popular player. Like I was like, I think they always joke on me, like laugh at me every time. I think I was popular in the dressing room, so every one of them had a part to play with my growth. I just came, so everything was new to me. So every player played a big part in my playing, and it gave me the it was easy for me to break into the first team and keep playing games. And just the way I played, they knew I wanted to learn. It was different for me, but I would say every player, Clarkey then came with me to Margate. So I got along with most of the players, because they just liked me from the way I played, the way I put in everything, even in training. So yeah, I think I got along with every player.
And you said that about your move to Margate as well. How did it feel for you upon leaving Stevenage? And did you maybe wish that things could have been a bit different and you could have gone on and helped the boys achieve that promotion that obviously was taken away from us with when Effie played?
Yeah, no, I was really surprised. I won't lie to you. And I think that was the first time I knew exactly what football is about. Someone can just come in and not just like you, not like your face. No, it might not be your game, because I really did well the season before, and they even offered me a contract, pre-season, and he just came in. He just didn't fancy me. He just didn't like me as a person, and I think that left a bitter taste, and I thought, I would have gone on, because if funny enough, I had some interest playing the first season from some league clubs. So for someone to come in and just say no, it's not good enough was really bad, But it's football. I went on to understand it's okay. So some people might not fancy you. It's just about your beliefs, and I did believe I could do it. So going to Margate really hurt me a lot, because Steven was really nice to me. So I thought I was going to go on promotion, become a league player with Stevenage. I really thought so, but. Listen, things happen for a reason, and I'm happy. It turned out well from my point of view.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely did. So we finished that 2000 season in 7th spot in the conference, quite a long way off of Rushton, who went on to win the league as well. So do you think we could have done better with the squad that we had? It was because it was a bit hit and miss.
Definitely. I think we're dropping too many points, but on a good day, no one could touch us. On a good day, we were that good, But I think some important games we dropped some points, and it just wasn't meant to be. But I learned a lot, how to prepare for games, take every game serious, and win every game for you to get promotion. But yeah, that for that squad, if you go through on paper, definitely we should have gone up.
Yeah, it's a very strong squad when you look at it. Yeah,
very strong squad.
So you mentioned there about going on to play for your country and that, and play in the Premier League as well. Are you still involved in the game at the moment at all?
Yeah, I am a little bit. I do piece and piece with my country, Nigeria. I do lots of sport development. I went on to play for some big clubs, so I gathered so many experience and knowledge in the game, and I saw game. I see the game now differently from when I first came to the country. I've got a decent experience from football, from playing for so many managers, top managers. Big clubs, big games, playing for my country. So yeah, when it comes to the coaching side, I've done my badges, but I do help my country out with sport development. So I work with the government in Nigeria. So yeah, I will always be in the game because football is my life. But yeah, that's why I do that.
Okay, that sounds really good actually. So let's get into some of the other bits and pieces as well. Have you followed much about the club's progression into the Football League, and do you know much about Alex Ravel, who's in charge there now?
No, it hurts. I just think especially myself, disconnected from Stevenage a lot, and I don't like that because I lived there. That was my home, I think the way it all ended, the end was, so I kind of disconnected from Stevenage, not knowing what's happening, not knowing what league they are. It's not nice. I think someone like myself should be coming back there to watch games and enjoy football, and just from my experience as well. I am a fruit from Stevenage because that's where it all started. I won't lie to you. If I didn't get that Stevenage experience, I'll probably not do what I went on to do. I think Stevenage played a big part. So I think I should be more interested in what Stevenage is doing now. I don't know who the manager is. I don't know what player they have now. But I think I should be, be reconnected with Stevenage to just appreciate what they've done for me.
I say you wouldn't have seen too much about the squad and Alex Ravel, who's there now, and the stuff that the workers done in the community as well. The club have put a lot of work into it during the pandemic and with the virus and stuff, helping out the fans and people locally and supporting them. And they are that's it really. That's what Stevenage have always been.
I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all because it is Stevenage. Stevenage is a family club. And I'm sure if I go there, I'll still see people I know, the fans. I'm not surprised. When I got your text to talk to me, I was really delighted. I've not spoke to anybody about Stevenage for a long time. So when you reached out, it was really good for me. I'm happy I'm doing this.
Yeah, it's great to have you on, and hopefully we'll get Akpo and F on as well. Yeah.
Definitely.
So we've got a message here from Neil Illman as well, who was part of that squad. I always made sure I was on Sam's five-a-side team. He would love to smash you with one of his legendary tackles.
So true. I was so wrong. I didn't want to lose. I just didn't want to lose. It is right. But I learned a lot. I learned how to stand up. I learned how to not always tackle. Yeah. But yeah, I did used to tackle a lot.
But that was Neil. We played with you in that squad as well. We mentioned Neil before.
Yeah, bless him. Yeah.
So you wouldn't have said too much of that. So let's move on a little bit. So how have you found the games without fans, and how important is it to get the fans back in as quickly as you can?
It shows to you how important the fans are. People didn't value the fans. The fans is everything. I think the fans is football. When it comes to even defenders, staying focused, celebrating the goal, or fans control the game. It just shows to you now how important the fans are. So I think when the fans comes back, we should give them more respect. Because fans is football, and I think the players have done well. to keep playing without the fans, because especially when I was playing, I think the fans push you on to hang on to a goal or to keep going for a goal. So the fans plays a lot in the game. So fans is important. But I think the game has done well to keep playing with what's going on in the world at the moment. We've done well to keep playing, but hopefully, fingers crossed, the fans are back watching football.
That's right, and they have started to get fans in at the sort of non-league level as well, getting about, I think it's 150, 300 sort of on that level. So it's a start, isn't it?
We need it. We need the fans, because especially the way I played as well, fans drives you on to like think you can go through walls, and we definitely need the fans to come back in the ground.
Yeah, definitely. So did you have sort of any pre-match routines or rituals when you were playing?
Not really, but don't forget, I grew up in Africa. I grew up in Nigeria, so I was mentally tough. I was really mentally strong. So every game I played, I didn't really care who I was playing against. And I think I learned that from Stevenage as well, where you have to know who you're playing against. But when I first came, I didn't really care. I just thought I should be better than you. I should be a better player. But, but things don't work that way. You have to know who you're playing against, the weakness. But yeah, no rituals. I just thought I should be better than who I'm playing against. And it was a kind of, not arrogant, but a kind of confident kind of thing that I carry into the field.
Yeah, and that's a good way of being as well, because obviously you know your own ability, and you know that you'll be able to match and compete in any game. You know, you'll get the better of whatever striker you're up against.
Exactly. You know.
So let's move on a little bit. So who would you say was the best player that you played with? It could be at Stevenage, or away from Stevenage as well. Your career, it could be from Nigeria or anyone.
That's a hard question, because I played with some top players. I will not be able to pick a player, but the more I went on, I realized that players are different. Players are different. I might be on the pitch for a different reason. A player might be on the pitch for a different reason. And I played with one player called Jason Kumas in West Brom. And I thought he wasn't working hard, but until the manager explained to me that he's not there to work hard, he's there to win the game for us. Mm-hmm. So there's different kind of players. So we had to pick a particular player, but I think DJ Campbell was up there with who I rate. But to pick a particular player, it's going to be hard. It will be hard for me to pick a player. I play with so many players, national team. I played
and all over. Yeah.
It's too hard. It's going to be very hard to pick a player who I've played with. I can pick a player that I've played against that I think is very tough, but pick a player that I've played with is going to be hard.
Well, that's fine, because that's the next question. So there we are, mate.
yeah. It's weird that if you ask me who I think I've played against that is tough, you're shocked because I played against Thierry, I played against Van Nistelrooy, I played against Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney. But I'll pick a player that will shock you, because it's different. Because when I was playing, I had the pace. I could jump. I could, tackle. So some players didn't give me problems. But I hated playing against Kevin Phillips. I hated it because he was. People don't believe it. From the kind of player I was, to say Kevin Phillips is weird. Because I played against some top strikers. But Kevin Phillips was that player that I didn't like playing against, because he always used his head. And look at your eyes, and he's always there to, if he gets a chance, he takes it. So if you make a mistake, Kevin will score. So I always say Kevin, and people are always shocked. Why Kevin? But yeah, Kevin Phillips is one player that I didn't like playing against.
And Kevin actually started off playing in Hertfordshire. I think he started at Bulldog as well.
He did. Tough cookies, yeah.
Yeah, so a really good player, actually. Really, he was a real goal machine, wasn't he, as well?
That's why I didn't like him.
So we've got a message here from Giggsy as well. What advice would you give to anyone trying to make it in the game?
Oh, easy. I think I'm in a very good position to advise someone that wants to make it in the game. First of all, you have to be realistic about your ability. You have to be realistic. The world of football, you get a lot of people around you that will hype you up or put you down. But you have to be focused, and trust me, if you work hard, if you work really hard and put in the time, be professional about it, dedicate yourself, you will make it. I don't care what anyone says. You might have the best agent. If you put in your time, you will make it. And I think, be realistic about your ability. You have to put in the hard work. If you don't put in the hard work, and look after your body. So for young players coming through now, that's my advice to them. Be realistic about your ability. Be realistic and put in the work. Get in the gym. Put in the time in. You will make it, regardless of who hypes you or who puts you down. You will make it.
It's a great answer, to be honest. And what about on the flip side as well? About anyone who wanted to get into coaching? Because I've got a good friend of mine who is doing a little bit of coaching and that kind of work as well. He's done a little bit with Chelmsford under 18s and his own 5-a-sides, which he moved on to an 11-a-side team as well. So what about on that side of it?
On that side of it, from my experience, I play with some top managers, and I can in a position to explain to you what I've experienced with managers. Man management is good. Knowing, having a philosophy of how you want to play, of how you see the game, and how you relate to players is important. Because you might know the game, but you might not be able to transfer to teach someone how to do it. So it might be in your head how to play the game, but if you cannot pass it on to players, you will never be a good coach. So from my experience, no matter how good a coach you are, you have to, with now our football is going now, you have to have that man management to be able to talk to players and to be able to pass information. So I think you have to keep learning. You have to keep learning. I did my coaching course and I experienced what I saw with other managers. The Steve Coppels, the Alan Pardews, the Tony Mowbrays, top managers I played under in national team. So I picked everything from them and I've added together and I've become somebody I want to be. And I think to advise any coach that wants to be a coach is to have your own philosophy and keep learning, but you have to have that man management skill.
That's what I was going to say there about the learning side of it as well. When leaning on others as much as you can. Jordan, that I just mentioned there, he's had quite a lot of good managers in the game that have helped him out along the way. Sir Alex and Harry Redknapp and Justin Edinburgh, who obviously passed away as well, and a couple of the guys at Southend, Phil Brown, Kevin Bonds, people like that.
Yeah, you need it. You need those experience. Then that will add to who you are, because you need to have your own identity. So you can add them people. I played with people always ask me who's the best manager I played with. It's different. I played with Martin Allen, for example. Yeah. So I've got different managers I can tell you about. So I've got a lot of experience in the game from where I played to, starting from Stevenage and going all the way to where I got to. I've experienced lots of managers and I learned from them. You have to keep learning.
And there's a question here from Rai. Who was your favourite manager?
It's different. My answer might different. I would say for my career, I have to say Martin Allen, favorite. But if you ask me how I went on to become who I am, I had some different kind of managers who put something in me to achieve what I did. But for a manager to believe in me, to take me from a non-league and sign for a league club, and I went on to be a legend or played so well at Brentford, I have to say Martin Allen did well for me. I owe him that respect. Paul Fairclough was good as well. But yeah, I will pick Martin Allen. But when it comes to the study of the game, the knowledge of the game, Alan Pardew had a different way of managing players. Tony Mowbray's way of playing was incredible. So I've had so many good top managers. But yeah, Martin Allen would definitely be up there as one of my best or my favorite.
Okay. So let's have a look. What was the next one? Yeah. So since moving from Stevenage, how often have you come up against the club, and what are your experiences of those games as well?
I tell you what, I've probably I didn't come across Stevenage a lot because I went on to Brentford and straight to the Premier League. But the few times I came across Stevenage one or two times, I think not counting. Who else? Portsmouth? I'm not sure, but not
Portsmouth. Yeah, maybe.
But the one thing I want to tell you about Stevenage is the mentality of Stevenage. I don't care who's playing for Stevenage. The mentality of the club is solid. You always know you're coming for a game. They, even though they play in the league, they have that non-league toughness of Stevenage Borough coming. So regardless what league they are, they're tough. They're mentally tough. So when you're playing against them, you have to understand that you're playing against a proper team. If you beat them, you have to beat them. They won't let you. win. You have to beat Stevenage. So that's my experience coming against Stevenage.
And it's very much, that is right as well, because we played Newcastle, knocked them out of the FA Cup, drew with Spurs. We've given Premier League teams a bit of a rough time, in the FA Cup sometimes, and Reading as well. We knocked Reading out of the FA Cup a couple of years in a row.
Just the mentality of Stevenage, they just it's tough. I played there. I know what it's like, playing. I don't know where they train now, but then we used to train some park where it was snowy, it was so cold. The mentality was so tough. You just had that winning mentality and never say die mentality at Stevenage, and I think it has gone on to be their identity.
Yeah, now it's they've got a really nice training ground. The new stand's completed. The whole stadium's complete now. If you were to go down there, you'll see a big change.
I would love to be one to see it, because I've not been there for a long time. Years, I'm talking about years. So I don't know what it's like now.
It's a massive change.
Wow.
So let's move on a little bit. We've done that bit there. So let's see. Who was the best player coming through with you on that FCO scheme that you were on, the youth scheme?
Yeah, it has to be DJ Campbell.
DJ was on that scheme, was he as well?
The coaching scheme. On
the coaching scheme, the youth scheme. Yeah.
Oh, Hara, is it Hara? Ex-Tottenham player.
Oh,
is the manager now for Billy Ricky?
Manager for Billy Ricky. Oh, you mean Ronnie Emery?
No.
The manager. Oh, Jamie O'Hara.
Jamie O'Hara. Yeah, he was there with me. I had some couple of other players, Premiership players. But yeah, I think he was good.
What was that? Good. Was George Boyd on that scheme as well at Stevenage?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
What was he like? When did you know he was going to be the real deal?
Yeah, because the way once you see someone talk about football and his philosophy of the game, you will know straight away what they will become. Even in the dressing room, even before they become managers, you always know he's got knowledge of the game and the way he wants to play. You always know he was going to be a good coach, a good manager.
All right. So what we got on here then? Yeah. So let's speak about that one. What would you say, in regards to the Black Lives Matter and the importance of mental health in football at the moment as well? What's your thoughts on those two?
When it comes to this, it's personal to me. I've experienced it myself. Yeah. Sometimes it's, funny enough, sometimes it comes from your own fan, and it's not something. It's not nice. I hate talking about it because some people might think is an excuse and it's gone on for too long. And it's not a football problem. It's a society problem.
Yeah, definitely.
So football is just in there. You cannot kick it out of football when the society has got a problem. So these fans that comes to watch a game, they're not footballers. They live in the society. So we have to educate the society about this whole racism thing. I've had it a few times. Even when I play well, even when you just have it, you just have people doing it. Some people don't even know they've been racist. So giving people education about what's going on. I don't think we're doing enough. The kneeling down. It's good to put your awareness out there, and you will never understand until you've been in the position. So sometimes it's hard to explain to an Englishman or a white man.
No, fair enough.
You've never been in the position. But I think football is doing the best, but it's not a football problem. It's more of a society problem. Until we can handle racism in the society, football will be better.
Yeah, 100%. And what about the clubs and the stuff they do for mental health as well? How important is that side of it?
And I tell you what, football is. People think football is a manly game. Sometimes you have to understand we're human beings, and life after sports is ridiculously hard, and it's not money. It's nothing to do with money. It's nothing to do with finance. It's just mentally. People don't understand what players go through, and we have to. Right now, you got a lot of clubs that look after players now. In them days, clubs don't understand. regardless of how much the players get paid. It's nothing to do with money. It's nothing to do with finance. It's just mentally it's hard to come. I've played football since I was 14 years old. Now I'm 41. You know, to come out of football and integrate into society is a shock. You know, even in football, because we feel we're meant to be men, men don't cry. We suck it in, but we need that help from people to be able to talk and see. Because we're normal human beings, so if we can get more help mentally in football clubs, it will help, because people don't understand how tough it is. Listen, I'm saying this now. The next thing someone will say is, "Yeah, but you get paid a lot of money." People don't understand. Yeah. It's nothing to do with that. It's nothing to do with that. You know, some people earn billions of pounds, but mentally they have to be stable. And if they're not stable, it's hard to explain to anyone that I've not played the game before how tough it is to have the mental state intact when you're in football.
100%. If you know, I've spoken to a few ex-players on here now. I think this is 32, 33 that I've done in total here. And, you know, a lot of the ones I've spoken to have said pretty much what you've just said there, or, you know, along those same lines.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. But I always say to people, it's always nice to talk to someone. Always nice to talk to someone. You have to, because the football world is harsh. They think we should be robots. You know, just get on with it. Just get on with it. But it's not that easy. And especially life after football sometimes is even worse. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about just life after football. Just that little butterfly in our belly where we love that comes out when we're playing in the game. When it's all gone, it does eat us up. So we need someone to talk to.
Well, it's like that for fans as well at the moment, because obviously fans get that buzz from going to matches, and that's been taken away at the moment as well.
He's a killer. He's a killer. Like normally when I walk on the street and you get people calling my name Sodje, and you're playing and you hear fans, there's something in us that keeps us intact. When that's taken out, when that's away, we look for something to fill that out. Listen, I've done it all my life. What do you want me to do after football? You're saying to me, I don't care about the money. What I'm saying to you now, how do I feel that buzz that I get on a Saturday? It's hard. It's very hard. And it takes a footballer to understand a footballer what I'm saying now. It's something that you cannot buy.
Fair enough. And that's like, you know, it could be, you know, people play football for whatever reason. It could be happiness, it could be an escape, it could be, you know, it could be for whatever reason. And if that's taken away from them, then it's going to obviously make it more difficult and more challenging for them, isn't it?
Yeah, and the society don't let easy. It don't make it easy for a footballer to integrate into the society, because the pressure of being an ex-footballer or being a footballer does count on you. So even after football, to get back into society is always hard, because you've got that stigma that you're a footballer, so people treat you differently. And if you cannot meet up to that level, then you get problems. But I always say to people, you have to be realistic and just accept that football's finished. The good thing for every footballer, you have to accept it when it's finished, and you just get back to normal, get the right people around you, and then you know life goes on.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got some other messages here as well. You mentioned about Tony Mowbray there. So what was it like playing under him?
Listen, Tony Mowbray is a top manager. Tony Mowbray was the first manager I played with that really it goes into details of everything. He tells you how to kick the ball. He tells you exactly what he wants. And trust me, if you go with what he wants you to do, he does, you know, lots of the time, 9 or 10 of the time, it does happen. And his man management is second to none. He knows how to, he treats different players in different ways. Someone like myself that's, you know, maybe playing in the Premier League and playing in World Cup, playing in, you know, my country. When you play for managers, all you need is respect from the manager. I don't care, you know, you need respect. Tony Mowbray knows how to bring the best out of you. And I think his philosophy of the game is really good. And what the game is now, playing now, Tony Mowbray had that a couple of years ago. So it was really good, very good. I was with him at West Brom, and he was just incredible. The way he saw the game, the way he talked to players, different way. I think he's a very good manager.
Yeah, and that was right that asked that question. He's put in here as well. Love Tony as he's from Saltburn and managed Middlesbrough, which is a team that he loves. Yeah.
I can imagine. You have to know him to understand what I'm saying. You know, from the far, you might see something different. But when you're in the same dressing room with him and you listen to him talk about football and ask you what he wants you to do is impressive, very impressive.
And Russ here as well has put, you made your Leeds debut against MK Dons at Ellen Road in March 2009, a game that Leeds won 2-0 and Beckford scored twice. What did you make of that game? And as Beckford as a footballer and that Leeds team that you were involved in there as well?
Oh, same as Leeds. I went to Leeds. I didn't know I was at Reading. It was Reading? Yeah, I was at Reading in the Premier League club. So they said Leeds wanted me to come for a loan. Yeah. I didn't know how big Leeds was because I didn't grow up in this country, so I didn't really know how. And I said, "Oh no, Leeds! I ain't gonna Leeds." I went Leeds. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
The huge club, massive,
big club, massive. big club. Yeah.
Every game is like a cup final. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to be mentally strong to be playing for Leeds. And trust me, wait for them in the Premier League. You've been in the game for a long time, so you know what Leeds is about. At that time, I didn't know how big Leeds was. So when I went there, and but it was easy for me to win over the fans. I'm sure you've seen me play. The way I play, it's easy for me to get the fans liking me. I gave it. Yeah. So yeah, talk about Beckford. I think he was a goal puncher, really good player. He had the eye for goal. He's one of the players as well that a manager has to manage properly. I had problems with him. I thought he wasn't working as hard. I want him to work, but he wasn't on the pitch to work hard. It was on the pitch to score goals. Yeah. so the more you play football, the more you understand about players and the more you understand about the game. But yeah, Leeds, I've got Leeds to my heart. Leeds is massive. I think the couple of games I played for Leeds played really well, really, really well. I think I didn't consider goal for probably the first 8 games. So these fans just loved me, and it was a good feeling playing for Leeds.
And how do you think they'll do in the Premier League? Do you think they'll surprise people?
I think so. I think the fans would. I hope the fans get back in the stadium. The fans would win some games for them, definitely. Yeah. And I hope they can do it on the pitch because the Premier League is not easy. It's not easy. For example, when you're playing the Championship or League One, you can afford to make a mistake and get away with it. In the Premier League, they don't give you that chance. You get punished for every mistake you make. You get punished. So I hope they can do it on the pitch. But when it comes to the football club, I think they would do it easy. But I hope they stay up because this is a massive club.
And then there you go. Rise put in there. Sam's giving me a really strong energy, and listening to him is giving me a real buzz at the moment.
So, Thank you very much. Thank you.
So just to get that buzz of going back to football would be great as well. So the sooner that can happen, the better. Raj Mahal there as well. Love Sam. Effie was my best mate when I played for Borough years ago under Paul Fairclough.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure who that is that actually is on that account, or who that is, but yeah. Because I'd actually see who that was. I don't know if that's when they played. I might speak to him as well about his time at the club. But no, so we've pretty much covered everything there. I'm just going to have a little skim through. I think that's pretty much it, to be honest, Sam. But yeah, it'd be good to hopefully get the trio on as well. Speak to the other two.
And hopefully I can come watch a game at Stevenage. Hopefully when the fans are back on, because I don't really talk about Stevenage as much. I really wish I could talk about them more because they played a big part in my career. But you reaching out to me, thank you very much. That's sometimes you might think they've forgotten that I played for them.
No, not at all. You were a very solid centre back there, and did a job at right back, and wherever you had to play, you always put in a shift. So thank you for all your efforts, mate.
Thank you for reaching out because I will definitely try and come to Stevenage. Hopefully, I can meet some fans again and enjoy football there. I'll definitely try and come and see a game and see how success they've been and how different the club is. And I really appreciate it. I really, I've done so many interviews and so many of my former clubs, but I didn't expect to talk to Stevenage because well, thank you very much.
We just got a little message here from Simon as well. Great interview, Mike. Big up to my brother Sam.
Yes, thank you very much.
It's good to hear from you, Simon, as well. I haven't spoken to you for a while. I'll reach out to you, mate, and drop you a message separately. So yeah, thanks very much for your time, Sam.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing well. You're doing great. What you're doing is. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks a lot. We'll let you go on. get on with the rest of your evening. I've got a radio show to prepare for on that as well. So all of that.
I'll start following you guys now. I'll start seeing what Stevenage is doing. I'm really pleased to be part of Stevenage. So really appreciate it.
All right. Cheers, Sam. Thanks a lot. And hopefully we'll catch up with the other two as well. All right. Cheers, mate.
Take care. Bye.
Cheers. Bye now.